Ride sharing has grown quickly with companies like Uber and Lyft right here in Nashville. But what happens when the drivers take your group for a ride?
Our Rebecca Schleicher joins us with a few women's nightmare stories and how the companies handled them. Rebecca.
Well, Rory, Carey, when it comes to ride sharing, it's a he said, she said situation at times, and some riders complain there's just not a good way to contact the companies for help. Their stories start pretty typically.
It was the girls' trip before the wedding.
There was me and 4 other girls with us. We were getting ready to go to lunch.
So they called a driver. Aaron took an Uber in Nashville, Kristen a Lyft in New Orleans. Different drivers, different cities, but both rides went south.
We get in the car, we noticed that the seat was wet that one of the girls were sitting in, so we mentioned to the guy, we were like, oh, the seat's very wet, and he just ignored everything that we had to say to him.
And then he eventually was cussing at us and kind of threatening.
Aaron reported her driver and got a $9 refund for the trip. Kristen shook it off until a $150 charge showed up on her card.
That's when they sent me pictures of the same seat that we had complained about that was wet when we got into the car. And at that point, I was very upset.
Aaron said in Nashville, a mysterious charge later showed up on her card, too.
They wouldn't tell me what was happening, why I was being charged this $40.
After multiple attempts to reach Uber, they sent her these pictures, a back seat with chips and an empty cup. She thinks the driver retaliated after she reported him.
Where he was saying these chips were where 3 behinds would have been.
Kristen said it took more than 7 emails for Lyft to respond. Neither company has a phone number to call, and both girls eventually turned to social media to call the companies out.
The only response that I've gotten from them is from Twitter.
I felt like I got no response from Uber via their app, because that was really the only way that I knew to reach out to them.
After days, both were eventually refunded, but they say it's a warning to be aware when getting into a stranger's car.
And that just makes me feel like now I have to document everything wherever I go.
And after several attempts ourselves, we did manage to reach both companies. The Uber driver in Nashville has been removed from driving Uber until the investigation is complete into what happened. Lyft sent more of a general statement to us saying reports of damage from drivers are investigated by their team and can result in up to a $250 fine. And Rory, some people might be excited to hear that Uber actually told me that they are testing phone lines in certain cities in the future.